Well, the Labour Party are getting very excited about potentially getting into government. They are already making a lot of plans, and one of them is about giving more powers to the globalist entity, that is, the OBR. Hello everybody, welcome to Tousi TV. Let's talk about the Labour Party, Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves, the potential future Chancellor of the United Kingdom. She's made some new announcements as usual, and it's actually funny because every time the Tory government make a mess, which is every 10 minutes, and they go down in the opinion polls, the Labour politicians open their mouths and chaos happens instead of just keeping quiet. So Rachel Reeves is going to be potentially the next Chancellor, the way things are going. Obviously, we're not really expecting a Labour majority, but potentially a coalition with the Liberal Democrats or the SNP or some sort of power sharing thing. One of the announcements today was about the Office for Budget Responsibility. Now, the OBR was set up by the likes of George Osborne and those guys in the name of creating more transparency for the Treasury, right? The idea was to have an independent body in the name of OBR to then monitor the activities of the Treasury. The idea was to stop the Treasury from playing around with numbers. But over the last few years, we've had the OBR playing around with numbers. At least with the Treasury, we have the Chancellor who you can technically vote for or against. You can hire and fire them, the politicians. But the OBR, you can't even sack them. That's the biggest issue that we are facing. Now, Rachel Reeves believes that we have to give more powers to the Office for Budget Responsibility because on paper, it seems to be an independent body. Okay, well, there's a bit of an issue, and in this video I'm going to be exposing that. Rachel Reeves, from the OBR to new fiscal rules, we will bring back stability. Labour's Charter of Budget Responsibility aims to give businesses certainty, with no repeats of the mini budget. Ooh, I do enjoy the Labour Party and the liberal media going around every day claiming that the Liz Truss crashed the economy. I don't think they know the definition of the crashed economy. If the economy crashes, I can assure you, you will know. But a bump in the road. And also, the budget wasn't actually even implemented anyway, and they kicked her out. So, not really sure what they're talking about. But it gets interesting. George Osborne is supporting Rachel Reeves' move. George Osborne says, "We created the OBR 13 years ago, so chancellors couldn't any longer fiddle the numbers. A year ago, we saw the fiasco when one tried to bypass it. These OBR reforms from Reeves are sensible, pragmatic improvements. If the Tories are smart, they will adopt them." If George Osborne is supporting your policy, it's probably not a good idea. But those who question my views on the OBR, about what I think, which is a very extremely biased organization, and the people in charge of it are already very open about their leanings. Well, they're open because we've exposed them in the past. The likes of GETTR and many others have done this. Watch this. So, as a reminder, let's not forget that people in charge of the Office for Budget Responsibility are not independent people. They're mostly from the Resolution Foundation and more, let's just say, liberal and centre-left think tanks and lobby groups and many other organizations close to Tony Blair. So that's not really the first time something like this has happened. This is the leadership of OBR. We've also had updates about a number of people inside that organization being leftists. Another OBR analyst transferred from the Resolution Foundation supports massive tax rises. Another tax-loving transfer from the Resolution Foundation. So they're not really independent. They have their own ideology. Next one. Another leftist hire for the OBR. OBR's new staff member, anti-Brexit, anti-Trump, praises Jeremy Corbyn and wants higher taxes. They want you to believe that these people are independent. A new OBR advisory panel hates Brexit and loves high taxes. This is again another story about the leadership of the OBR, people in charge of the board, the advisory board. And again, they want you to believe that these people are independent. Now, Liz Truss came back to respond to this, saying it beggars belief that Labour think Britain's problems will be solved by bigger government and even more powers for quangos. Hard-working people and businesses freed from overbearing regulation, tax and debt are going to get Britain growing again, not more bureaucrats in London. The issue that we have in politics in 2023 is that people and the media care more about the individuals, figures, rather than ideas. They don't really care about actual plans. So right now, what Liz Truss said was absolutely spot on. But because Liz Truss said it, a lot of people who claim to be pragmatic, claim to be centrists, they're basically liberals or centre-leftists, they are going to say, you're listening to Liz Truss. Liz Truss is not credible. Liz Truss is this. Liz Truss. I don't care. It's not about Liz Truss. It's about what she said. It's about the ideas that she's been promoting. And these people cannot debate ideas, so they try to debate the person and the individuals. The best way to do it is actually completely let them destroy themselves if you want to debate with any of these individuals, and then see how they expose their own ideology. Anyway, we're going to come back in half an hour with more updates. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.